Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today we are doing a first impressions wear test on 3 new products from Revlon. We are talking the new Candid foundation, the new Candid concealer, and the new Candid setting powder. So I'm going to share with you guys me applying them, what I think of them, kind of like really first impressions, and then a wear test throughout the day. So let's just go ahead and get started. Alright you guys, so I want to talk about price and ounces and everything like that first. And the reason that I'm doing this with my makeup already done is because I have a huge breakout right here. And to be honest, I was just way too self-conscious to be on camera for a long period of time with that on my face. You guys will see it in the try-on. Obviously, I don't have makeup on to start, but for the majority of the video, I wanted makeup on because I'm just too self-conscious to even have this just showing for a long period of time. And you know, I like to keep it real here on my channel, and that's just what it is. Sometimes when you got a big breakout, you just feel self-conscious and you don't want to be on the internet with no makeup on for a long period of time. So, but I do want to talk prices and ounces first. So let's go ahead and start off with the foundation. I will say that I found all 3 of these products at Ulta, and I did use my 350 off 15 coupon, so always make sure you're looking for that coupon. You can download the app. These products weren't on sale, which is kind of a bummer, but I wanted them to try anyway for you guys. So, okay, the foundation. This says it is 0.75 fluid ounces, and it cost me $10.99. Here's my gripe. Most foundations nowadays are 1 ounce. And I feel like I know ColourPop did a foundation where it wasn't a full ounce, and now I'm like, really, Revlon? Not a full ounce? Like, it kind of sucks, right? Like, I just am like, I want a full ounce of foundation. I just think that's kind of, it just sucks. But it is only $10.99. And I think that Revlon hopefully is starting to learn that they shouldn't put their new releases out above $15, because I know that like the last couple times they've released new foundations, it's been like $17, $20. No one's going to pay that for Revlon. I'm sorry. It's just, people are not going to do that. So this is only $10.99. They had a really good shade range. I did get the shade Ivory, which is 130. It's a little pink for me, but it works. You do get a nice squeeze tube pump kind of packaging, which I really like. It makes it really nice and sanitary, and I like the pump because you can get a nice even amount of product every time. You know, you can like decide, okay, do I need 1 pump, 2 pumps, 1.5 for my full face, and then just use that every time you do your makeup. All right, now the concealer. This is 0.34 fluid ounces, and you pay, let's see here, $9.99 for this. So this is right at $10. Now, I was actually looking through my concealers to see how this compared to other ones, and a lot of them were less. Like my Catrice Camouflage was less, my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define was less, but the one that I found that was the same amount was this CoverGirl Outlast. So I found it kind of funny that they're both in these like little squeezy tube type of packaging. So this is 0.34 fluid ounces, and so is this. And again, it's $10. What I discovered when I was doing my makeup, which you guys will see in the try-on, is that you get a nice doe foot. It's actually like, I thought it was going to be like a little brush tip or like a, kind of like this one, that it has like a little sponge tip on the end. But it is actually a doe foot, which is so nice. This also has a really good shade range, so I don't know. I'm going to see how it wears throughout the day, but that is the fluid ounces on that. All right, moving on to the setting powder. So this is the Candid Anti-Pollution Setting Powder, and it only comes in 1 shade. At least that's what I think. There was only 1 shade in the display at my Ulta, and you get 0.5 ounces in here. Now, in my tried and true Maybelline Fit Me, you get 0.7, and the other one that I like, the LA Girl, you get 0.17, so you're definitely getting more than the LA Girl. And then in the Rimmel Stay Matte that I also really like, you get 0.35. So I don't know if there's really like a standard setting powder amount, but this one is kind of more towards the higher end, like product side at least, the more product you get in here. You do pay $9.99 for this as well, so everything is right around the $10, $11 mark, of course, depending on where you bought it. But I got all 3 of these because I used my coupon. I got all 3 of these for $29.39, and that was with tax and everything like that. So not terrible, but not like super cheap makeup either. All right, let's go ahead and talk finishes. So the foundation says it's a natural finish, anti-pollution foundation. It does say that it's a medium to buildable coverage, no harsh ingredients, anti-pollution, antioxidant, anti-blue light, and oil-free. And then the concealer says that it is an antioxidant concealer, and it says it's with caffeine, antioxidants, anti-pollution, anti-blue light, without sulfates, phthalates, no harsh fragrances, oil-free, medium coverage. And then the powder says, I have to like peel up the little thing here, and it says that it is an anti-pollution setting powder, sheer coverage to set makeup for long-lasting wear, with antioxidants, anti-pollution, and infused with vitamin E, without sulfates or phthalates, no harsh fragrances or dyes. So those are all of the claims as far as all of the products go. So let's go ahead and get into the actual application of me applying these products. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and prime with my Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner Primer. I really like this just for kind of smoothing everything out. And I've been using it lately, so it's like, it's not going to probably change much of the foundation. It doesn't like mattify or anything like that. It really does just like smooth everything out, so we don't have any like large pores or anything like that. So now let's go ahead and go in with the foundation. I did get the shade Ivory, and what I'm going to do is just do a nice pump. Maybe, there we go. Maybe 2 pumps, because that's a lot. Or that's not a lot. So I'm going to just take 2 pumps and just dot on my face. This might be a little light for me, but we shall see. And then I'm going to use a sponge on one side here. Coverage isn't great. I'm going to use a brush on the other side and see if I like that coverage a little bit more. It feels really, really thin on the skin. It doesn't feel like a really thick, heavy foundation. But I do think I like a brush more. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to do like, hello, anything going to come out? There we go. Okay. So now I put like a good helping on the back of my hand here. And we are just going to use a brush. It's a really pink undertone of foundation. But hopefully it won't look too bad once I get it all blended in. Alright, you guys, I think that's as much coverage as I'm going to get out of it. And to be honest, it doesn't look bad. It looks like a really nice kind of medium coverage. So I am going to go in with just a little bit of my Catrice concealer and just cover up that, you know, mini Pluto that I have on my face. Shoot, at this point, it might not even be a mini Pluto. It might just be actual Pluto because it's so friggin' large. But dot that around a little bit. And then I just want to take a brush and kind of bump over that so it kind of all blends in. And to be honest, that's probably as good as that's going to get today. It might get a little bit more covered when I put powder on it, but it's just what we're going to be doing today. So I also got the concealer. So this is the antioxidant concealer in vanilla. And I'm not going to do any corrector today because I really just want to see what this concealer can do. Oh! I thought it was going to be like a brush tip or like a squeezy tip, but it's a little doe foot. So we are just going to do it like this. Has some coverage for sure. Not like. All right, I want to blend this eye out with a sponge. So that's with concealer, that's without. I think it looks really good, actually. I'm going to put some on this eye now. And I'm going to try to blend this side out with a brush. I don't know if I can really, I almost like this side with the sponge a little bit better. And I think if I would have used a corrector, it would have been even better, but I just want to see what this can do. So I'm just going to add a little bit more, like right on the areas that, you know, where you get that like little dark circle hump or little indent right there. And just dab that out with a sponge on both sides. That's a really beautiful concealer. It's not super full coverage, but it has a lot more coverage than honestly I kind of was expecting. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to set it with the loose powder. And this is just in this shade 001. I only saw one in the display at my Ulta. And what I love about this is that you lift this little part up, so it has a nice little barrier there. And I'm just going to tap some off into the cap. And then I'm going to take a brush. It has like a beigey tone to it. It's not stark white. So if that's something that you usually try to stay away from, this might be a good powder then. Just going to set this concealer. It's a really nice, like, light powder. It doesn't feel super dry or cakey so far. Feels pretty smooth under the eyes. It doesn't feel too dry. I kind of want a little bit more coverage on my face, so I'm not going to use this powder to set the entire face. I'm going to go in with a pressed powder foundation because I need a little bit extra coverage today. So that is what I'm going to do to set the whole face. Alright, you guys, so I finished the rest of my makeup. I will leave all the details down below on what I used on my face today. It has been a hot minute since I did a wing eyeliner, so I did one today, and I'm just like feeling myself in this makeup. But let's talk about the foundation. So when I first kind of put it on and when I was like doing my blush and my bronzer and stuff and I was getting real up close to the mirror, I was like, this is really dry. Like, this is not looking good. It looks a little patchy and it looks a little dry. Now, I did set it with powder all over my face. I used my Milani Shine Proof Powder Conceal and Perfect. Now, the reason I did that is because that is what I typically do on a daily basis. I set my entire face with a powder. So I want to use this foundation like I use every other foundation in my collection. So that's why I did that. And I did set it with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. And then even after that, though, that's when I really was like, okay, this is getting a little too dry still when I was doing my eyeshadow. So I threw on my Essence Pure Nude highlighter just a little bit on the top of the cheekbones and down the nose just to add some more life back into my skin. And I think that that helped. I didn't use a mattifying primer with this, and I don't think the foundation said that it was mattifying. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure. No, it says it's a natural finish. So natural is a bit much. I don't think it's super natural. I don't know if it's natural as far as the coverage goes. Like, it's not like a mask of foundation on your skin, you know what I'm saying? But it definitely looks a little bit dry. But as I have worn it, and I've really been looking at the chin area because that's where I was like, oh, this looks patchy and dry. But as I have worn it and as I have looked even more closely, it definitely is looking a little bit better. So I'm interested to see how this wears throughout the day, which I will be doing check-ins with you guys. As far as the concealer goes and the powder, I think that, sorry, my hair is driving me nuts. The concealer and the powder, I think that it did a pretty good job of concealing. My under eyes don't look that dry. They don't look really like, you know, crepey or anything like that. I obviously think a corrector probably would have been better, but again, I just wanted to see what the coverage was of that concealer. And honestly, like, I would be fine with, like, on a daily basis for work, not having a corrector with this concealer. Like, I don't think it looks that bad, but I definitely would probably use a corrector anyway. But the coverage was a lot better than I was actually expecting it to be. So that is it for now, you guys, and I will catch you guys soon in an update. Alright, you guys, so it is time for the first check-in. It is 3:37. I put this makeup on about 8:40 this morning. So it has been on for a good chunk of time, and as you guys can see, I am very dewy. It does say it's a natural finish foundation, where I almost feel like it went from being a matte, dry look to a dewy look. Like, there was maybe a little window of a good natural finish, but then it just went dewy. So I haven't blotted and I haven't powdered or anything like that, and I would say I do feel a little bit more dewy than I typically am with foundations. So I'm just going to take my sponge, it's barely damp anymore, and I'm just going to pat some of the oil away. It's looking like a little patchy, but nothing too crazy. The concealer has held up really well, and I really like the way the powder and the concealer have worked together under my eyes. I think it looks really, really good. So that is the, like, first check-in. I don't think it looks amazing, but I don't think it looks terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and go, and then I will check in with you guys right before I go to bed tonight and take all this makeup off. Alright, you guys, so it is now 6:18, and I'm just going to go ahead and close this video out because I do want to go work out, and so I want to take this makeup off before I go and do that. I didn't really do anything too strenuous since the last check-in. I just watched some Making a Murderer Part 2. So that's what Corey and I are, like, really watching right now. And so that's all I did. So, okay. Sorry, my computer. Who do I think this foundation is for? I think this foundation is for someone who doesn't have a ton to cover up, but still wants some coverage. I think it's a light to medium finish. I don't think it's medium to full at all. If I didn't have a lot of these breakouts right now, especially this little one right here, I would probably like it a lot more. But, like, I would like the coverage a lot more. And it is kind of starting to wear off a little bit. I haven't had it on that long, though. Like, I feel like my Holy Grail foundations that I have on for this long, they look a lot better at this point. And so I'm just kind of like, I don't know if it's the most long-wearing foundation ever, but it doesn't necessarily claim to be. I'm excited to kind of play around with this a little bit more. I think the shade was definitely a little pink for me, which that's just user error, to be honest with you. The concealer actually really surprised me. I was really pleased with the coverage of this. I had a lot more coverage than what I thought it was going to, and I like the way that it looked under the eyes throughout the day. It didn't look too dry or crepey. And the same thing with the powder. The powder didn't add a ton of coverage, which again, it doesn't claim to. And it also didn't make me look really dry or crepey, and I didn't feel really dry throughout the day either. So I think I'm going to try this foundation with like a mattifying primer and things like that and see if I like it a little bit more. So I will keep you guys updated on those two things. But thank you so much for watching this first impressions. I hope it was fun for you guys and that you found out a little bit more about these new products. Let me know any video requests down in the comments below. Any products you want me to try, anything like that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys here next time. Bye!